Hello YouTube, and welcome to a new update video on TSON Craft. It's been a while since I've done work on TSON Craft. I've just started work on the next update, probably about 2-3 days ago, something like that. And well, I've got a lot of plans for this update. So it's currently October, and we are approaching January, I suppose. The main reason I focus particularly on January is because it would be the anniversary for TSON Craft, because I released the first version last January. So I've begun work on what I consider the anniversary update, which may or may not arrive before, or it will at least arrive by then. So it's going to be an interesting update, I think. So the main things I've been focusing on currently are things that I feel aren't so great with the mod currently, which in this case is the tech stage. So tech stage, I always felt, though I personally find myself drawn to tech stage mods, TSON Craft seems to be very focused, perhaps more on the magic stage, and the tech stage is kind of, it's okay, but it's different to the extent that it's not really usable in most situations. Some people like the way I've got it currently running. They like the pylons because it's wireless energy. They like having all these little pylons distributors, but a lot of people don't because it's a massive hassle if you're not entirely certain what you're doing. So that system is going to be replaced with a newer system. The first iteration of the anniversary update will include both the new system and the old system, so that you can easily transfer over without losing blocks, etc. You will lose like pylons and stuff, but I think I'll add a recipe to get some resource back out of those. We'll see how that goes. I have a few plans for it, basically. So let's begin talking about the new stuff. So I've done a fair bit of progress on it. It's interesting, certainly. So the first things we need to focus on are these energy pipes. Tech stage will now work with energy pipes, as with most mods, and put them out like so. You can see they have a pretty interesting glowy texture, and they actually connect to each other when they place down. So that's cool. You can also disconnect them by right-clicking on a face, and it'll pop a bunch of stuff into the chat. So you can disconnect them like so. Yeah. Oops. Yeah. So that's fairly simple. And you can also dismantle them by holding secondary effect and right-clicking on them, and it'll instantly pop them off back into your inventory. Well, onto the ground. But you don't need to break it with anything. So you might be wondering, I've got 9 different things. So this is the very basic energy pipe. It can store inside it 256 energy. The tier 2 pipe can store 2048 energy. Let's separate these. And the tier 3 pipe can store quite a bit more. In this case, 16,384 energy. Now, you may also notice it says max voltage. Well, I'm taking a little bit of inspiration from Industrial Craft, which is the first mod that introduced me to technology mods in Minecraft, and probably was actually the first mod I played with. And I really like their voltage system. So yeah, TSON Craft Power will now have a voltage system to it. So these are the low voltage wires. Move those for now. And these are the medium voltage wires. So you may be thinking, okay, these look pretty damn similar. And they do. The difference being that their casing is made out of iron compared to the tin of the previous tier's casing. So yeah, so these can transfer medium voltage, which means they just transfer energy much quicker than these versions. However, if they're connected to a lower voltage supply, or to a lower voltage wire or machine, the low voltage thing will explode because it can't handle that kind of energy flowing through it. And then finally we have the high voltage, which is top of the line stuff. So I'll put these this way. These are the top tier transporters. So yeah, these are the best ones to get. However, of course, if you hook up machines, most of which are low voltage, these are best not to be used due to the fact that they'll cause them to explode. So yeah, that's the new piping system. So currently I don't have any generators in, but if I were to, I've got a little thing here, so if I grab a stick, I can actually inject energy into the system using a stick, and you see it's now got energy in there, and it will transfer it as evenly as it can between all of the pipes, like so. And if I were to connect up a higher voltage pipe, you will see the explosions in action, like so. So basically what happened was that this low energy pipe, the low voltage pipe, puts energy into the higher voltage pipe, and then it says, okay, now I've got more energy than the pipes over here because these ones have rebalanced themselves. So it then sends energy back down the pipe in order to balance it. Fortunately, this little guy here was a low voltage in it and thus exploded on contact, like so. Quite a forceful explosion, but it doesn't break any blocks. You do lose the block that blew up though, so keep a note of that. So that's the explosion mechanics. It will also drain out the maximum amount of energy that it could possibly have sent to that thing, which will be dictated by its voltage. So I think a low voltage can transfer 128 energy per tick. The medium voltage can transfer, incorrect, I think it's 1024, and the high voltage can transfer 8192 energy per tick. So the high voltage is much better. So these are all built off the Forge capabilities energy system that currently exists within Minecraft 1.10.2 Forge. So it does mean that it's compatible with other mods that support that. I will need to work out a few small incompatibilities, so I've been testing with Ender.io, and there's a few small issues there. But for the most part, it does work. And you don't need to convert into a voltage, because all I say is, okay, so if you use another mod's pipes, you'll be limited by the amount of voltage the energy you can put in per tick. So the same as these. So a high voltage machine can accept only 8192 energy per tick. But if you don't use my pipes, then it won't explode if you try and give it more. It just won't accept that extra part, per se. So it can receive a higher voltage, but it won't blow up unless you use my pipes. Which is okay, I'm not too bothered by that. But I don't know. If you want to use how they were intended, I recommend using my pipes for that. So we move on to the machines. Yes, here they are, and their new appearances. Quite similar to before, with a few notable differences. As you can see, they're all got the same color scheme working on them. So previously, there used to be different colors. So, for example, the furnace here was made of iron. The crusher was made of iron. The plate former used to be bronze, and the alloy furnace used to be lead, as did the hydrator, and I think the compactor did as well, but I can't remember that so much. It might have been silver, actually, the compactor might have been. But now they're all tin, because they're the low voltage version of the machines. And I've done a bit of work with them. So if I open it up, you'll notice that it has a really fancy GUI, which I designed, and you'll also notice that these slots are different colors, which I'll get to in a moment. But the fancy GUI, I know some people like the vanilla one, so I added a config option, which allows you to have the vanilla ones instead. I personally like this design for these, so this is the default option basically for all of these. But again, there's a config option to change it back. So these work pretty similarly to before. So if I grab redstone, G mode, please. Thank you. Put redstone into the bottom slot here, and you'll fill up with a bit of energy. It's the lightning bolt as per. And of course the furnace works pretty similar before. The main difference being that previously, when you were processing items in TSON Craft, the energy would only be drawn out of it once it's finished. Whereas now, there's a constant power drain while running. which makes more sense. And you produce your items as such. So, yeah, now we talk about why these slots are different colors. Well, okay, first of all, I've got hoppers in my inventory, so don't need to worry about that. Take time. So you notice that these little plus symbols on the outside of the machine. Well, if I hold secondary effect and right click on one of the faces, the plus symbol changes colour. Note how it's blue now. Now, we have a blue face on the outside and we have a blue slot on the inside. So what do you reckon happens if I pop a hopper there? So if I grab some cobblestone out here, I'll put a bit more energy in for now. Now we'll pop the cobblestone in here. Oh, look, it's filtering in. So if I were to, say, change that back to blank again, you see, if I try and put cobblestone in here, it's not going to go in, because that's not configured to that side. So of course we've got the orange slot, which I can hook up quickly. And I'll put that on the bottom because hoppers obviously don't go anywhere else. But as you can see, it's actually pulling the stone out into this chest now that it's hooked up correctly. Very nice. We can also connect redstone into the machine. If I just quickly switch this over to the red side, we can feed redstone in, like so. And we'll actually fill in. So the red slot fills in redstone, and then if I go to the top here, put blue on there, put cobblestone in. So it'll run. Be aware though, because redstone is a bit of a waste of powering, because as soon as it's not completely full, the redstone will be used up, even if it doesn't produce as much energy as it should have done. But as we can see, that's a fully automated system. And of course, when we get round to it, we'll be able to hook up energy pipes into this, like so. So this stuff will be able to come around behind all these machines and do that. For example. So the furnace works quite nicely. You may notice that there's no speed upgrade slots in there currently, and that's because of the new upgrade system that's going into this. So the new upgrade system has two different types of upgrade, only one of which I've actually programmed in so far. So the one I've programmed in so far is the voltage acceptance upgrade, which is the shell. So replacing the shell with iron and steel respectively. So steel handles high voltage and iron handles medium voltage. These don't improve the machine in any way, it just means it can receive a higher voltage. That's essentially it. The other type of upgrade is what is known as the core upgrade. Just like the pipes, these things, it allows it to store more energy, but it also allows it to process faster. And at tier 2 and above, like this alloy furnace here, alloy furnaces are always tier 2 or 3, as are the compactors and the hydrators. These are all tier 2 machines. Whereas these ones are all tier 1 machines that can be upgraded to tier 2 and 3. These ones can only be upgraded to tier 3. But you get the speed upgrade and energy upgrade slot. These do not have that because they're not programmed to do that yet. Pop some redstone. Yeah. So we have these voltage upgrades which allow it to receive more energy per tick, basically, without exploding. So then we have the crusher. Same recipes as before. If I remember correctly. Put cobblestone in here. We'll turn it into gravel. Pretty simple. Plate former. Put some ingots in there. Might get some more redstone. Some gold ingots in there. Get some gold plates out. In theory. Yep. Alloy furnace. Simple. Silver and gold for now. Now the alloy furnace, because it's a tier 2 machine, stores more power, so it requires more redstone in order to fully charge. Grabbed the wrong thing, I need silver. Let's make electrum. You can see. Electrum ingots. Compactor. Grab some wood. And hydrator. One of the most interesting machines in the entire mod pack. So this, of course, it has a bucket slot, which, by the way, in the alloy furnace and the hydrator, they have a green slot, and the alloy furnace and hydrator both have access to the extra green modification to the top of them, which is nice. So that allows you to pump into the extra slot. Hydrator here, also I can pump water buckets in directly, like so, and it will eat them into a regular bucket. Or I can go for a rubber fan, such as using fluid conduits. Don't need to worry about that too much, I think. We'll grab ourselves a reservoir from Android. Oops. Okay. And we just turn that to out signal, and it will see it will fill up here. The hydrator will get to work on making its things. Well, hydrator recipes that we've got going on here. So yeah, pretty nice stuff in general, I would say. And of course the alloy furnace, I'll put some upgrades in here. You can go faster. So we've got speed upgrades and energy upgrades. I'll start putting these in. Just put them all in, why not? And put some energy upgrades in as well. So you can see it uses energy fairly quickly, but not like too ridiculous. It does if you take the energy upgrades out, but energy upgrades are fairly effective. And again, the upgrades have the same recipes but before, very expensive to produce that much of them. The competitor does actually have upgrade slots, but they're currently visible because it's borrowing the same GUI as the crusher, etc. over here. I'll speed up the hydrator as well. Energy upgrades and speed upgrades. Yeah. Easy. Very nice. So that's the new machines. So one of the things I need to get done, obviously, is energy sources. So we're going to obviously integrate the solar panels as before. I'm intending to add coal generators as per. May even add some liquid generators such as lava, water mills, something like that, just for other generation source other than solar and coal. I may even do a redstone generator as well. Because basically I'm using redstone anyway. So I may as well just make it more appealing than having it eat up instantly. So another thing I want to work on is, this is all in world, but in reality I don't want it to be in world at all. I want it to be entirely GUI based. There'll be a button here or something like that, or over here. You click it, brings up a little menu or something, and you can select which faces do what. That is the intention with this. And then the secondary effect right click on these machines will return to rotating it as it should be. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this updated, this bit of news regarding TSON Craft, and hope you guys are excited for these changes towards the tech stage. I certainly am, because I feel it's about time that tech stage got the same kind of treatment as the magic stage does. Because the magic stage has got all sorts of cool things in it now, like runestones, transmutation, which I must say is definitely as stable as it's going to be for quite a while, especially with my most recent update to transmutation, which allows it to sync data with servers respectively, so you don't need to do anything client side, it will sync over to you from there. So I think that is it actually for this bit of spotlight so far. Yeah, okay, so I hope you guys have enjoyed this, and you guys are excited for where this is going, and I look forward to getting the anniversary update out. Maybe not fairly soon, but certainly around the time of when the anniversary is. And I intend it to be one of the biggest updates, barring maybe the rewrite. But we'll see what happens. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.